Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of In the Black VTF here, T3 Live with today and today's week market wrap up. And normally, when we close, the broader averages close towards the highs. Most people look at the charts and be like, "Oh, they look great." And you're gonna see some divergences here. That's going to be real important coming forward as far as how this rally is going to continue or negate, especially when we got earnings and all that kind of stuff. So if you look at the SPY, once again we had a dividend last month, but coming up on that inside month and with the dividend we're above that, still would need to take out the August highs or lows, right? So and on the weekly, moving up, but when we're in that inside that big range, so what you'll see here is that if you go to the daily, all this big range from the drop here to drop here, this whole range is entirely within that. And what you'll see here is you get the slight lower low out of this stuff, and now coming in to try and take the higher highs out of this, right in there. And so you've had this nice big drive up, then it corrects a little bit and starts popping back up. If you look at the QQQ, here a little bit more slow going. Here, trying to slowly walk and drive up, and I'll show you why that's happening in a second. If you look at Apple, everybody likes to look at Apple and say, "Oh, this is the reason. This is going to cause us to go up or down." You can look at Apple doing nothing. This thing's doing nothing. Right? You got a doji right in here, and so if you're banging your head against the wall trying to figure out what it's doing, here's what it's doing: nothing. All right. So if we take a look at the small cappers. Small cappers, you can see we're not strong enough to come out and take out this outside day just yet. And so if we come into next week, you can see this here. Is it strong enough to get through there? Are these other sectors going to help follow through to continue the broader average rally? If we go to the TLT, inside day, and on the month so far, doing nothing. It's a doji. Still in the middle of all this stuff, and the bonds really, in the weekly here, you can see stuck in this middle, not doing much. And so, oftentimes this is why it makes it more difficult during the day. You get this slow grinder rally, you don't know where to go. And so oftentimes what we do is we'll just look at that percentage gainer list, loser list, dollar point gainer list and point loser list, and just pound something that we find. And ZFGN was the winner today, and this has been quite the trader with the news down in here and trying to come back. But you can see something like this today, just doing the slow grind all day long and picking your spots, getting in there and pounding something like that down. So when I get to the broader averages and then the broader sectors, and like I said, normally if you get the wipe out to the upside or the downside at the end of the week, you'll see the people over the weekend being like, either the market looks great or it looks awful. And there might be a little bit more debate this week, because if you take a look at the transports are inside weak and actually down, and down today. So the question is, how do the transports going to get out of this? As you can see, this still series of lower highs in here, still inside month, like that. And so you'd be start to look at, and we had them survive at least a little bit, some debacles today where you have KSU here getting pounded, and this is going to be an interesting area down in KSU. If you take a look at the monthly here, you can see this right here. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that and here. So they tried to take it out here, stops them out, but the selling didn't continue. Then it tried to come back up. Now it's taking another shot at this level, and that could be some issues. If you go to Spirit Airlines also one of the few inside month and downs going toward the lows. You can see it expanding, this broadening formation here. So we'll have to see it with the inside weeks next week, if who's going to try and bolster that or join the puke fest. And you've got FedEx as an inside week. You've got Union Pac here as an inside week. And so obviously we'll look at that with as it goes towards crude oil for the airlines. And USO still trying to get out of here, but for the most part, still stuck in a tight range. If you go to the daily, if we use the USO proxy, at least you have this higher low in here, tries to break out, but comes back in here. So the question is this a pullback within this breakout to go back up, or is this the failed breakout and start coming back through and test this stuff? So that's going to be interesting as we take a look at the weeklies for the energy sector. XLE, inside week. ERX, inside week. OIH, inside week in red. XOP, here inside week. So as far as the monthlies were concerned, we did get a good start of the month for the majors. Chevron goes inside month and up, and Exxon here goes inside month and up, and both of those closing near the highs. That's good, but for the whole shebang, still it's kind of hanging around there. You had the months and up in the XLE and stuff like that, but for the week, that's got to reconfirm. So next week you'll come in, you look at Halliburton inside week, you look at Slob inside week, you look at MRO, you've got EOG, you've got Conoco, all these things going inside week to figure out which way these things want to go. As far as the NASDAQ's concerned, the IBB, where people are trying to figure out what this thing's going to do, and it's a case-by-case basis or trying to trade the IBB itself, you'll see that this is still inside month, albeit green. And for the week, inside week. So the question here, if you look at this 300 and change up here, hit it, come back, hit it, come back, hit it, come back, hit it, come back. So tough time closing below that, which is good. And so we'll see if it can get back through here. We'll see if it can break above this week's high to be an inside week and up. And you could, a lot of things there are more hammers than inside. You can see the side-by-side weekly hammers in Celgene, VRX, certainly interesting here. I believe earnings next week, GILD. So you can see a bunch of these hammers to try and bring up that IBB. Another group that could do something here is XRT Retail. As you can see here, tough time getting out of here. I mean, we had the broader averages come up and take these highs out, and even testing up in here. But here we got the old Walmart disaster for the week, and that's a problem you have. And looking at the other things that are not on the highs to see if there's anything that's going to bolster them back up. If you look at Macy's way down here. To see if there's any hope here for Macy's. Inside week countered with hammer down here. This is quite the debacle. You can look at stuff like Dollar Tree and Dollar General to see if they're going to be able to come out of the ashes, try and help that. If we go over to tech just a little bit, semiconductor stocks here do come up on the week, not inside week. Coming up inside month, and that's good. And then for the day, it just goes inside day. So we'll see stuff like that. If you can look at SWKS, some of these things aren't going to. SWKS is inside day, and it's presently still month and down, albeit still in this range. So we'll watch the stocks in the beginning. You've got stuff like Facebook finally went inside month and up this week or today, and still trying to walk up stuff like this here to see how that goes. And Twitter, certainly people are watching the tweets to see how this can get out. And this, what it did was go monthly, inside month, and it took it to the downside, and now it's an outside month back to the upside, still trying to walk up this business in here. So we want to see what this range is here come next week, but it's also an inside week. And so anytime you have these moves one way or the other, we want to start to look at the leftovers, and if you will, and that's going to be your inside bars, because they couldn't make the highs that the broader average did. So if the broader averages start to break down, these are some of the things we might look for on the short side, or we're going to look for them to reconfirm the rally that we're already seeing. So obviously earnings on deck, and so plenty of news to come out. We want to see if the trannies and the oils can go together, but for right now, trannies and oils were the neutrality of the week, and that's going to have to give. So we'll watch certainly the IBB as far as it's concerned in the NASDAQ. The retail, always important, but breaking it down next week, certainly want to look at the break for the oils and the trannies. So that's going to do it for today and this week. I hope everybody had a great week. Sometimes it gets to be a little grinder. Oftentimes what I say, just go after the ones that are going up, go after the ones that are going down, and don't try and figure out the ones that aren't going anywhere. All right, that's going to do it for this week. I'm Rob Smith in the Black VTF here, T3 Live, with another weekend wrap-up, daily wrap-up, whatever you want to call it. Hope you all have a good weekend. Bye.